Trojan family, Trojan gang. Fight on Forever's in the building. And today we finna talk about Bruce Feldman observation of the USC defense, right? Now Bruce Feldman, a guy when he talk, I listen. Bruce Feldman don't give too much cap. You hear me? When he say something, it be real. He don't have no angles or agendas, and he's a straight shooter, right? So the things I want to get into what he was talking about right here on the screen, right? This is what Bruce Feldman has heard about the USC defense, right? And he got inside information, connects. Guys gonna shoot it straight. First thing he heard is Anthony Lucas is starting to come on and be disruptive. And we need that. We most definitely need that, right? Y'all don't understand how important this is. This could change our season. This could change us from winning 8 games to 11 games. Real talk, no cap. Follow me. Now listen, we already got Bear, NFL first round talent. All we need to do is have him work on consistency, and they say he's improved that. Of course he's going to improve his intensity with Coach Henney behind him, right? Y'all best believe that Bear is going to be the best version of Bear, and he going to look like that NFL first round pick with this system and with this team. Y'all got to understand, Alex Grinch dummy system affected Bear Alexander as well. That was part of his inconsistency because that inconsistent trash defense. So that's one right there on the defensive line, NFL first round talent. Now, Anthony Lucas is the same thing. Anthony Lucas was just as heralded coming out of high school as Bear Alexander, right? Anthony Lucas was them dudes in high school that was projecting as an NFL first round type pick. He got NFL first round pick type talent as well. So if Anthony Lucas turning the corner, they gonna cause havoc on that defensive line. If you got 2 NFL first round type talent on the defensive line, balling like first round talent, everybody talking about how LSU got first round talent, NFL talent at the tackle positions with Emory Jones and Campbell, right? But USC got first round talent defensive lineman with Bear Alexander and Anthony Lucas. Anthony Lucas just ain't hit that corner. Some say he has hit that corner, right? Another year in Riley program the right way, not being trimmed down for speed, right? Being bulked up to play to his strength, right? With the Wiley program and the combination of Coach Henney in another year of experience, it seemed like Anthony Lucas then figured it out and turned the corner. Now, has Anthony Lucas has truly turned the corner and is making plays like he's supposed to, like his talent suggests, our defensive line, the first unit for sure at least, is a strength of the team. That's a strength. That's a problem. Don't too many teams can tote out, and even teams in the SEC, there's not too many teams that can tote out 2 D linemen that have NFL potential. And I'm finna get back on the D line and tie it on back in, because let's get to what they said about Eastern Mascarenas Arnold. Has been as advertised, and he should be. Pac-12 all defensive first team performer last year, 100 tackles type dude. Of course, Mascarenas gonna ball. He's tried, testing, and proven to be a baller. Now, it makes me go back to when Eastern Mascarenas was talking about how he been eating in practice because Kobe Pepe been eating. He been drawing blocks. He been eating up blocks, forcing double team for the offensive lineman, keeping him free, keeping him clean so he could just shoot gaps and make plays. Ain't got to worry about too many offensive linemen, right? And then I hear Braylon Shelby talking about how Gavin Meyer and everybody talking about Gavin Meyer. So I see why Mascarenas Arnold is being able to be as advertised, because the defensive line is doing their job and the linebacker can run free. That's a linebacker best friend, a defensive lineman that's drawing double teams, eating up blocks, not allowing a lineman to key in and focus on them. So it all makes sense when I hear about what Lucas is doing and Gavin Meyer doing. Of course, a great linebacker like Mascarenas Arnold is going to eat off that. He's going to flourish playing behind those dudes. So that's why y'all see Mascarenas Arnold with a big smile on his face every day, because the defensive line is doing their part and he able to run free and do his thing and do what they do. You hear me? So it all ties in. It's all making sense. It's all making sense. So Our front seven right there, if you look at Bear Alexander, Anthony Lucas, Mascarenas Arnold, that's NFL talent. That's high-end NFL talent, right? That's 3 in our front seven right there that's going to head to the NFL, especially Lucas and Bear, right? If Lucas live up to his potential, he first round pick just like Bear, right? And Mascarenas Arnold is gonna go anywhere from the first to third round if he put up another season with 100 tackles and be first team all Big Ten like he was in the Pac-12. He going straight to the NFL. So we got uber talent. They just got to turn the corner. Bear just got to stay consistent. Gavin Meyer got to keep doing what he was doing at Wyoming, do that at USC, and take a step forward with the development of Coach Henney. Then Anthony Lucas breaking out. Then Kobe Pepe breaking out. If everything is true to what we hearing, Mascarenas Arnold saying Kobe Pepe, he said Kobe Pepe is constantly in the backfield. If that's true, and it's true that Anthony Lucas is coming out his shell as well, the defensive line gonna be our strength. They gonna cause damage, and our linebackers gonna eat. They all gonna look better. Mascarenas Arnold gonna even eat more. Mason Cobb will look like a different linebacker. So is Eric Gentry. That really go help Eric Gentry because he ain't got to deal with no offensive linemen because his defensive line is eating all them blocks up. So Eric Gentry might have a season of his career because he ain't got to deal with offensive linemen, right? So this is great news. This is what we want to hear. We would want to hear that Anthony Lucas gonna break out, right? We want, because we in the portal looking for defensive linemen, right? And Anthony Lucas got the talent to play outside and inside. He got the talent to be a star at both, at D end or D tackle. That's the kind of potential he got. He has potential, positional versatility. So that really gonna set our defense out. Let's cross our fingers that Anthony Lucas could translate what he doing in practice in the game that raise our ceiling as a team. We are championship contenders if Anthony Lucas could reach his ceiling, because his ceiling is 10, 12 sacks always. You know what I'm saying? His ceiling is one of the best defensive linemen in the country. So we can add that with Bear. That's going to change the whole complexion. Deanton Lee defense is keyed upon a great defensive line, right? And Bear Alexander could clog up that middle, him and Kobe, and get active in the interior like Jay Toa. And Anthony Lucas and Braylon Shelby can provide pressure like Latu. That was going to set the Anton defense off. And then our secondary going to eat. They all going to feast. They all going to feast back there because the quarterback ain't going to have no time to throw. With all that length, that speed, they going to eat. And speaking of our DBs, right? Speaking of our DBs, I heard Jalen Smith is probably the best cornerback. Right? So my question was, I know Jalen is so versatile, right? And if you ask me, all the returning corners, returning DBs from last year, he is the most talented one. I seen him in that bowl game get 11, 12 tackles, right? Easily too. So he's one of the few players that was a sure tackler on our team last year. And if you think about Jalen Smith, he's gonna be rocking number 2 this year. He rocking number 19 last year. If you think about it, I don't remember Jalen Smith missing too many tackles. I don't remember Jalen Smith looking bad. Every time Jalen Smith was out there, he looked pretty decent. Like the Alex Grinch scheme didn't affect him as much as the other players, but the depth chart did. He should have got more playing time. He has that ability to play corner, nickel, or safety. But I like Doug Belk already for moving him to corner because he's too talented and was too good to be just sitting at safety. His cover skills is too good to just be sitting at safety or even nickel, right? You want to put him at cornerback and put him on the island and see what he could do. And they put him at corner. He been put on the island and he apparently been shining there, right? So if you could shine at corner, that's where you need to be, right? That's exactly where you need to be, and his positional versatility allow him to be flexible. So if he do take a corner spot or got a corner spot and you want to get another corner in there but want to keep him on the field, you could say move to nickel, right? You could say move to safety, right? And he could do it. So I want to ask Bruce Feldman personally, do he mean Jalen Smith is the best corner because he the most versatile? or he's the best corner because he got the best cover skills, right? And then if he move at corner, that free up more room for Bees, because I want Bees to get on the field. They got Greedy Vance. I heard Greedy Vance coverage is sticky, and he the real deal, right? But you want to get Bees in there, and the best spot to get Bees is at that nickel. Having Bees playing the nickel like a Sewell Craven's way, though. Not how Greedy gonna do it. Greedy seem more like a cover corner that's gonna cover the speedy slot receivers. But Anton Beavers, with him at the nickel, provide more positional versatility and more versatility for the defense, because he could be that nickel that could be the extra linebacker and come downhill and thump, right? When you probably running a cover 4, when you probably in a situation where it's 50-50, whether the offense pass or not. Let's say a 2nd and 5, a 2nd and 6, team might run on 2nd and 5, or they might pass. That's like a 50-50 depending on what team. So it's good to have an and B's in there just in case they do pass on that 2nd and 5. You got a guy at the nickel that can cover. That could cover somebody in the slot. And you got a guy at the nickel if they run and they come out with 12 personnel, you got a guy that could come down and thump and support in the run game as well. Because Beav is just as big and strong as some of the linebackers we got on the team, but with DB athletic ability, right? So putting Jalen in that corner opens up and Beav as well, right? Make you more flexible in the DB. Now we could rotate more DBs in, right? Because each play, at least probably gonna be 3 DBs out there. It's a lot of plays only gonna be 1 safety or 2 safety, right? Depending on we running a 3-3-5 or 3-4, depends on what we coming out, what personnel we coming out, right? So it's more positions. The DB, the corner position gonna get more snaps than the safety position, right? It could be more corners playing in safety. So it's easier to get a corner on the field. So let's get Jalen on the field, because we got to play the Carlos and we got to play Humphreys and Covington, because we know how much, Deontai Lynn like tall, lanky corners, and them tall, lanky corners is seniors, right? They going into, this is like they last audition for the NFL, and they great players, and we want to help them get to the NFL as well as they help this team, right? Greedy Vance as well. So the seniors, the 4th year juniors, we got to get them on the field because they good. They too good to not be on the field. And it's their last year to go to the NFL. So the more NFL talent we develop, the stronger we going to be on the recruiting trail to say, we sent this kid to the NFL, right? And we sent that kid. So they got to play. But Jalen Smith is too good not to play either. So Jalen Smith could be the best corner. But we going to parade him around from corner to slot to nickel to safety, because we got to play these other 3 corners as well. It's like 3 or 4 corners that we got to play. So I really believe Doug Belt is going to be rotating 7 to 8 DBs like he said. That ain't no cap. Especially seeing that Jalen Smith going to play corner. And we all know Humphreys, Covington, the Carlos, and Greedy going to play for sure. Just from their experience, right? So Jalen in there, that's 5 right there, just with the corners. That's not counting the safeties, right? So I easily see we rotating 5 corners and 3 safeties: Zion, Kamari, and probably Bryson. You know what I'm saying? And then B's gonna get some safety run too. And so it's like, man, we stacked in the secondary. So this is what I love to hear. On all 3 levels, we got a breakout standout. Anthony Lucas on that line, Eastern Mascarenas Arnold feeding off that, and your boy Jalen Smith behind that on all 3 levels. This is what you wanna hear about these Trojans, and the number one thing is Anthony Lucas breakout. If Anthony Lucas break out, I'm finna be betting money. I'm finna be at the local sports books. I'm finna be betting money on these Trojans, because they gon' shop. That's the only thing that can stop this team with this defensive staff and the coaching and the secondary we got. The only thing that can stop this team if the D-line sucks for any reason, whether it's injury or they just ain't got it right. But if this D-line could turn out to be, it ain't even got to be A, if it could turn out to be B, a B-level line. If Anthony Lucas just reach his potential and Bear just be consistent, his own. See us at 10 wins. See us in the Big Ten Championship. See us in the playoffs for sure. So until then, man, it's your boy Carter Sports. It's Trojan City. It's SC. So let's go.